Aloha folks, I'm Aubrey Apple and welcome to my tube of living to your highest potential. In this space, I'm going to talk about womanhood. I'm specifically going to talk about Filipinas, and that is because I myself is one. And the reason why I'm going to dive in my culture is because I did not grow up talking about certain things, and I think it's very important to talk about it at this moment because everything I've learned so far is from people who are not like me in my background, and I know certain things and I've learned certain things, and I thought I could combine them and talk about it. Hopefully, it will help a few women out there, girls who are going through the same as I did. All right, and then one of the things I'm going to talk about in my channel is being a mother. I'm a mom of twin girls, and I had some struggles with them, but I've learned and I figured things out, and I also thought I could help out by sharing the love and what I've learned so far. And the third thing is that lifestyle, yay, lifestyle, because I do a lot of things that is very fun. I serve I snorkel, I hike, I travel, I do a lot of fun things, and I thought also I could teach that as well. So let's dive in. Let's talk about self care. A lot of women out there go to mani and pedi and go to the salon, get a massage, and that is perfectly great. We don't do a lot of internal self care, and that is one thing that I'm going to talk about at my channel because I feel very passionate about taking care of yourself internally. I did not know anything about it, and then I start diving in about listening to a lot of motivational speakers. I've been an active student to a lot of motivational speakers for almost 2 years now. I felt like I have an associate's degree to being mindful and doing a lot of self-development and living to your highest potential, most importantly. Now, let's talk about self-care. Yes, self-care. Taking care of yourself internally is one of the ways to live at your highest potential. And I found that meditating and playing and educating yourself is one of the many ways to grow. Meditation. Isn't that such a daunting practice? It's intimidating. It's like so weird. Breathe in and out, and that is what meditating is. It's just being aware of your breathing and your mind and just being mindful. Meditating I did not start doing till recently, and this is because where I came from, meditating is such a weird practice. It is honestly such a weird practice, and we just nap. Yeah, yes, or just sleep. What is meditating? We don't meditate. And then I start practicing it. Most of the people that I've listened to and really admire talked about meditating and how important it is. And so I start practicing it, and it's actually really helped me get grounded. And when I'm busy and I don't have time to meditate, I will just incorporate meditating in my driving. I would just breathe in and out, and it's so helpful, so very helpful. Now, if I do have the time, which I do try to find time to meditate, I will practice it for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And even if I'm not very good at meditating, in the morning before I wake up, in the morning before I touch my phone, I would breathe in and out for as long as I can, and then I go about my day. Meditating is one of the ways to take care of yourself internally. And the second thing is playtime. Why do we stop playing when we grow up? It's so important to play. And when I see my daughters play and they learn and they just fail, just keep failing, they just keep redoing. And playtime I felt like was completely removed from adulthood. And when you play, it's like you're being irresponsible. In my experience, when I play, I was being irresponsible because if you're not making money, you are just wasting time when you're playing. And I do a lot of playtime. I just finished surfing, you guys, which is surfing and hiking and traveling or just doing snorkeling. It's all playtime, and it's so important to do those things because it helps you grow. It really does help you grow, and it takes care of yourself internally to be grounded and to fall and to fail and to relearn yourself. And that this is the reason why I love surfing so much, is because you could be tall, short, old, young, you could be dark, white, you could fall, and when you do, no one will judge you because it's part of the whole thing. Because if you don't get up, you're gonna drown. Yes, drown. I've fallen so many times surfing. I even got cuts and stitches and bunch of oopsies and bunch of I'm not gonna make it, but I'll always make it. And I learned how to deal with myself. And then when I'm outside the real world, it helps me deal with the world because I already know how to manage my thoughts and to respond and to react. Now, if you're underwater and you're reacting in a way where it's very chaotic, like blah, you're going to not make it up, or you're gonna swallow a lot of water. And what I learned, because I've been surfing a little bigger waves than I'm used to, that when you're underwater and you're getting pounded by waves and you're just there's just so much water. What I've learned after learning how to surf big waves, well, not like humongous wave, but just big waves for me, like a little bit overhead, is that when I fall, I have to calm down. I have to know how to respond to the drop and to the reality. And I've learned that when I am angry, I learned how to control myself lately. And before, I would just be so mad, right? I would not accept it. I would have a victim mentality. And part of the whole playtime when you go out there and you learn how to deal with yourself is that you get to bring that to the actual real life problems. And if you're not playing like kids and you are in a work environment, or if you're just in public area and something didn't go in your way, your tendency is to react and to respond in a manner where it's not very nice. It's not very nice. Yes, I've noticed this to a lot of my family members or friends that do not play. They get angry easily, and this is because they have so much inside them, beautiful things, but it's very disruptive if it's not being put out, right? And also notice that if you don't get yourself out there to play and to be with nature, is that people tend to develop such a bad habits, and this is the reason why playtime is very important for self-care. Another thing is that education. Education completely just stops the moment we leave school. I know it did for me. I was such a good student when I was in college. I would read and I would just stay in the library, and then enough to pass my curriculum, but never really learn much from it because I just want to pass, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of important things that I've learned, but most of the really, really good stuff that I learned was when after I graduated when I start working, most of the things that I've learned in my work is through my work. I did not kind of connect it, and which is the saddest part. And I just stopped learning. I just didn't picked up any other books, and the first book that I picked up for self-development was Baby Wise, and that is from taking care of my daughters. And then after that, it just led to another book and to another book and to another book. I tend to read a lot of novels, but never really how to think differently, and that is the reason why it is very important to self-educate yourself with other things. Now, back in my country, I did not learn about how to speak properly, and this is the reason why I'm starting this YouTube. I'm very new, and I'm very much not into speaking, but this is my way of learning, and I hope I can get better someday. But this is my learning process, and I'm doing this whole thing so I could also teach, because I learned that in my background we don't do anything such as mindfulness or being aware. We're not being, we're just always constantly talking about problems. We're only talking about other things that doesn't really concern us, and I want to talk about things that really matter. Yes, your brain, your mind, and your growth. And I've learned after 2 years of listening to a lot of people that there are many things that you could do, and there are many things that you could achieve, and not just become nurses or not just become workers. And there's nothing wrong about 8 to 5. I did 8 to 5 and I did random jobs, but I did not know I could actually do certain things that I'm good at. I did not know that. I didn't know I could do certain things that I'm good at. I didn't thought that making jewelries would be an income. I thought it was just a hobby. Now it is part of my income. I make jewelries and I love it, and I am matching it with my real job, which is accounting. And now my jewelry is also a real job and it's an actual business. I did not know that's a possibility. I never thought of it, and I wanted to thank the fact that when I start reading Baby Wise, it kind of flowed to different things. And I wanted to thank the book Baby Wise because it was like a train reaction. It led me to another thing and to another thing and another thing. And it's like when I remember when I was traveling, it in my mind I couldn't travel because I was told that to be able to travel and to vacate is you have to have a certain amount of money in your bank account, or you're a professional, and I didn't have two of those. And back where I came from, we only travel for any family related, like my grandmother's on that island, I gotta go onto that island. My parents is on that island, I gotta go on that island. We don't like go to another islands, and we have 7,107 islands in the Philippines, and I only visited two of them growing up, because the first island, my mom's families are in there. The second island, my great grandmother, my dad's families is in there, which is my great grandmother where I grew up, and that's it. There's no there's no traveling. And I never really thought of traveling because I thought that I don't have the money and I'm not a professional. Then I met somebody who just mentioned to me that he's a waiter and he's traveled all over Europe, and I picked his brain up and I started just to Cancun. I went to Mexico, and then after that it led to one thing to another to another. It's just like this constant movement, and I realized that when you're studying and you're learning something different, it takes you somewhere where you needed to be, and that is one of the very important for self-development, and that is very important for self-care. I want to exaggerate that because it has brought me many beautiful things in my life. When I started self-educating myself, I was able to do certain things that I didn't even thought was possible. Just like surfing, I am able to do many things in life, even if I was taught that I couldn't, because I start listening to TED Talk, I start listening to motivational speakers, I start really understanding why people are successful. And when you have the time to listen to someone that has made it in life and are utterly successful, not just money wise, but mentally successful. I listen to Oprah a lot. And I know most people think she's overrated and she's just out there, but that woman is really mindful. She's so mindful. Oprah is so mindful. I listen to her Super Soul Conversation, and she interviewed great minds. I was just like baffled with all of these things that I've learned. Again, the 3 things that had helped me internally to take care of myself is to meditate and to play, and as well as self-education, learning different things other than what we've learned in school, like self-growth, is the many ways that had helped me internally take care of myself. I hope this video has helped you. It certainly had helped me, and hopefully I'll get better and better. Every Friday I will be posting videos about those 3 things as I mentioned, about family life, lifestyle, and as well as womanhood. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you